I was just thinking about the things I've been through and how I'm not considered strong by my family. And you know what? I'm here to tell you, children of very frustrating, judgmental, cold, lies to you kind of parents and entire family, you gotta let it just roll off you. So what you gotta do is, as you get older, you review your whole life and how strong you had to be, and the pain, say the chronic pain you had to endure like on a daily basis, and your limitations or whatever you had to endure. You know, those are your trophies. Your next birthday isn't a day to go, oh God, I'm 50 or I'm 40 or I'm 30. It's when you get older and a little bit wiser, you start to go, wow, it's my birthday. I made it another year. And I may not look like somebody who has been through a whole lot, but this isn't my house. I've been in shelters. I've been on the road. I've been all over the place. I lived out of my car for 4 years when I gave up everything I had going for me. That would be a lot of free everything in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and friends, and a budding portrait artist career. I gave that up to come home to Florida, only to be, lucky enough to be finally getting somewhere. 4 years later, the guest of someone's house and cleaning the spider webs. Look, I've done a good job over here. The spider webs off the windows. Okay, there's a clean window. Those are dirty windows. Look how close I'm getting to having this place presentable. This is washing the bird poop off a screen door. I'm waiting for the water to dry because I didn't scrub it before throwing water at it. I got too eager, I guess. I'm afraid to approach the outside here. Look at the high, whatever. But I'm going to give up a family secret, and nobody's going to know really who I am or who my parents are. And I don't know if my parents have passed, because we're not speaking. But speaking of strength, I grew up in a family with a family secret. They weren't telling me that I was adopted, and I kind of figured something was up. I just didn't think about it. So when they told me at age 19 that I was adopted, it just kind of wasn't a big deal, and I didn't want them to feel scared or hurt or be crying over it or whatever. Because my family did have heart. My dad had a sense of humor. He just wasn't around. He wasn't really fatherly, His hearing was going, because he was around airplanes back in the day in the tarmac where the airplane noise would damage your ears or whatever. And then my stepmother, when she quit working, she was around, but she wasn't really motherly. And I guess I kind of knew she wasn't my mother. I just lived in this state of not having ego and not caring too much about myself, that I didn't think about why am I sad? Why do I feel alone? Why do I feel miserable? Why do I feel like the freak in the family? Why isn't it important to anyone that I'm talented? That kind of stuff. And then it would have been too egotistical for me to push anything or say anything. So what was happening is that I had an entire family in Florida that I didn't know. I thought I had just my grandparents. They had a house in Miami and in Naples. And I even stopped visiting them because I was just so, I guess, not interested in family anymore. I wanted to distance myself as much as possible. So unfortunately, I lost the last few years I had with my grandmother to visit her before she died. So it's just something that I had to live with. I chose to be alone at summer camp discovering boys, and just being alone without any family around. But the reason I didn't know my family is my stepmother had kind of blackmailed everyone into saying that they couldn't reach out to me or tell me the truth, that I had a mother, a stepsister, not just a brother. I knew about my natural sister. I knew about my natural brother because he lived with us in high school a little bit, and then I knew my sister. But she didn't want anyone to reach out to me. So I was isolated in a place that was sort of like Florida, but nothing like it, close by, let's just say. I don't want to give away too many family details because I want to respect them if they're still alive, but they would be in their late 80s. So anyway, oh God, there's a whole other part of the story, but my point is, in being strong and not being good enough or strong enough, sometimes you just have to let go, and I'll get to that part of it. But the point is they're judging me. My cousins that I discovered down here, my natural mother, oh, you have nothing to contribute to the family. So Christmas was ruined because of a landlord I was dealing with who was a little crazy. I tried to move home in 2016, and then I tried again 4 to 5 years ago. So this is my second attempt to move home to Florida, where I felt the most at home with my grandparents. And both have been a fail, both moves, until now, until I met a nice lady who's in it going through a divorce, or who is divorced. I can't remember right now. And she's selling this house, and I'm gonna be her roommate. It's the first time someone has trusted me, like they used to trust me when I was younger. People trusted me a lot more when I was younger. I don't know what inflammation, gaining weight, getting older is making people be distrustful, if it's a territorial thing. But they trusted me a lot more, let's say, in California. So when I was younger, oddly. So now I'm a lot more trustworthy, and I've been treated a lot differently, let's say. So things have changed. I've had to be very strong. My AC broke 2 years ago, and I stayed in Florida, living out of my car. A friend is helping me from the state that I came from, and I had a chance. This family that has judged me for not having anything to contribute, as in my strength, experience. I have a faith, so I follow certain moral standards or structure. Like, oh, we don't know you could be a thief or whatever. I needed just references to a rental when I was looking for a rental, when I had money, when I had housing assistance. I needed a job. And no one was interested in meeting me in my family. So that's okay. That's just something that I had to live with. And so I wanted to see my natural mother because she got sick with COVID. I drove down and passed through her territory, announced that I was coming, and they didn't want to see me. So, I have a sports injury. Of course, my cousin down in this certain part of Florida has a business, fourth best in the area. He asked me if I needed anything, and I didn't respond because I was utterly shocked that he didn't want to meet me at all. So I asked. I'm heading down to southern Florida, South Florida, and this job didn't work out. The guy was lying. He died. And I'm heading down. I'd like to see Mom. Is that okay? And he's like, no. Okay. So 2 years later, when I left the area, I gave him one more chance, left a message with his secretary. I'm leaving. This is our last chance to meet. Can you please give him the message? I'm about to leave town. I didn't even get a call back. I don't see anything strong or worth knowing or contributing to any family, any sensibility of what kindness and goodness and family is among these people. So as I was not good enough and had nothing to contribute to the family, I'm so glad that I didn't have to meet them because I see no qualities in them. I see only accusations, lies, judgment, no compassion, no openness, open-mindedness, no wisdom, no virtue, no creativity, nothing in these people. So again, you young people with parents who are still alive, and aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters who judge you for not being like them, closed-minded, materialistic, secure, tolerant of all kinds of personalities, if you're sensitive and you just can't put up with the BS as well as they do, and you can't take it, the insults and the accusations, and you like step back and go, hey, I can't deal with this because I'm trying to get well. I'm trying to save my life here. If you don't fit in with your family, don't try to fit in. Go your own road. Go your own way. And get the heck out. Peace. On the front line of this battle of mine, but I'm still